What's going on, you guys? Slim here with a new video today and a new discussion for you guys. There's no denying that we're all asking the same question. Where the hell's my damn ban list? Kind of like, where the hell's my damn crossout designator? Where's my ban list? Well, everyone is coming up with content because, you know, it's ban list season, but I don't dare profile anything anymore because what if it gets hit? What if my list changes? You know, yada yada, etc, etc. However, I did have a thought, and I did have a video proposed by one of my Patreons, so shout out to you. I know you want to remain nameless, but I really do appreciate this idea, and I think it's a really cool thing. And we're going to talk about how will the best decks of the format adapt if they get hit by the March 2021 ban list. If you guys are new here, consider subscribing, hit the notification bell. You guys will be notified whenever I upload. You'll also be notified when I stream over here, as well as on Twitch. Links are in the description. While you're down there in the description, consider joining my ever-growing Discord community. If you want to purchase any of the cards or decks I talk about, you know, use my TCG player link. A portion of what you spend goes back to the channel. It helps me out, and I really do appreciate it. And last but not least, if you further want to support me in the channel, consider becoming a member by clicking the join button or becoming one of my Patreons, and maybe you'll come up with my next video idea. Anyways, you guys, we don't have a list. However, we have more predictions and more ideas of what could potentially happen that no one is talking about. How will the best decks adapt to the format if they are hit? And it's kind of funny because I thought about this and I've talked about it multiple times on stream. I feel like every deck gets checked. The deck can still be played. It'll just be played in a different manner that it currently is. Okay, so we're going to start with Virtual World. Let's face it, VFD, you gotta go, buddy. You gotta go. Like, that's it. If they ban VFD, Virtual World's gonna be fine. Like, they're gonna be fine. I know that a lot of players rely on just going VFD or even sometimes 2 VFD, God forbid, you know, on their ending board. But a lot of times I've seen players literally just end on a Shen Shen, end on a Juju, end on any of that stuff, and it's enough. It's literally enough. I think the deck has a great toolbox at its disposal. Its synchro monsters are amazing. There's other generic level 9s that just came out, one in Blazing Vortex that is a negate. There are so many options for the deck. They can still play Bamboozling Shadow as a negate. Like I've talked about, Shen Shen is insane. It's a Macrocosmos. Like, yeah, that keeps coming back. Like, that card is ridiculous. They can also do the hand loop with Gothams and Inner Blathnir. There are so many things that Virtual World can do, and there's no way they're going to hit any card in the main deck of Virtual World. There's just no way. The cards are too new. The only card on the chopping block is literally VFD. But I fully believe if you take away VFD, as you should, 100% you should, deck is going to be fine. The deck is going to adapt, and it may not be the quote-unquote best deck of the format anymore, but it'll still be a great deck to play. So I'm looking forward to what will happen to Virtual World once VFD gets hit. Next, we got Tron. So Tron is pretty simple. All we've really said is put Ben 10 to 1 or ban. I said 1, so for the purpose of this video, we'll put it to 1. The deck will still be able to use it. The deck will still be able to loop it a couple times. Not as many times as they were when they had 3 copies, but they can still use it. Therefore, the deck is still going to be playable. Will it be as powerful as before? No. Will it be as impactful, like Searching Your Fairies? No. But they'll still be able to use it 1 copy. Not only that, they're getting more support. Like, they're getting literally a rank 1 that literally just changes everything and makes the deck even better. For those reasons alone, Tron will be fine. Tron will survive. I think the only way they could possibly kill the deck is if they fully ban Ben 10, and I don't think they're going to do that, but who knows? You guys watching this video will think I'm wrong, and then watch ban list comes out, it's banned, and be like, oops, I guess I was wrong. But I still believe that the deck will be able to adapt and be able to play, of course, the, you know, the rank 1 as well as the 1 copy of Ben 10. If it is left at 1, I mean, watch it not get hit at all and just be like, well, shit, I was wrong. But yeah, no, I think Tron will be fine. I think that they have enough at their disposal. None of their cards, their personal Tron cards, are going to get hit. There's no way. They only play 1 copy of the Ritual spell. Some play 2. They can also go the Megalith build as well. So there are multiple aspects that the deck can do and multiple things the deck can do even if they are hit on the list. And, you know, this is like the whole point of this video is to tell you guys that even if your favorite deck, one of your best decks does get hit, they're still going to be playable. They're just not going to be as oppressive as they are currently in our current format. But that's Tron. Next, I've got Eld Lich Variants. Now, this is going to take a little time because, okay, Eld Lich. The only option I see, and I definitely do not see both. I know a lot of people didn't actually watch my video or actually listen to what I said, because I said I thought they were either going to hit Cursed Eldlin or Sanguine, not both. You know, if you watch a video, you know that, not both. If they hit one of those avenues, the engine is still going to be fine. The engine is still going to be fine. Yes, it'll lose some consistency. Yes, it'll lose some aggressiveness with having multiple Scarlet Sanguines, at your disposal. Your one Sanguine gets ashed, well, it gets ashed. You banish it and you get to your Haquero or your Conquistador or whatever. If Cursed Eldlin get hit, you just have less consistency. But if you still have 3 Sanguine, I mean, you're still in there. At that point, you will have to play the Black Awakening, the White Awakening. You have other options at your disposal. You might go as far as playing a 3rd Golden Lord. You might go as far as playing the Counter Trap. There's a lot of things Eld Lich can do. Eld Lich is fine. There's also the new Trap Monster that came out. I know some Eld Lich players have been experimenting with it. I think it's a very, very cool card, and I would love to see it in more decks going forward. But I think that engine as a whole will still be splashed in a lot of decks. It'll still adapt, and I think the engine by itself will be very strong. Now, when you take into account, okay, there's Eld Lich with Dragoon. Now, we'll just touch upon Dragoon. Do I think Dragoon's going to get hit? I mean, I want to say it's going to get hit to 1, but will it? I don't really know. I've heard it on both aspects that no, it's not going to get hit. Yes, it's going to get hit. I don't think it's going to get banned, so unfortunately, it's still going to be around. So if you're playing Dragoon before, nothing really changes. When we talk about the trap decks that play multiple copies, we'll get to that. But yeah, nothing changes. Nothing changes at all if you're only playing the 1 Dragoon, the 1 Red Eyes Fusion, the Vanillas. Unfortunately, you're going to be playing those Vanillas as long as Dragoon's around, but nothing honestly changes in that deck. So if you're still playing Dragoon in Eld Lich and any of these other decks, you're fine. When it comes to Zodiac, none of your cards are getting hit. None of them. They're not going to hit a single Zoo card. They're not going to bring Barrage back to more than 1, I'll tell you that much. If they do, I mean, I don't know what's going on, but they're not going to do anything like that. People think they're going to hit Zeus. No. If they hit Zeus, if for some random ass reason they decided to hit Zeus to 1, who cares? You still make the 1 Zeus. Like, literally, it changes nothing. So Zodiac Eld Lich will still be a great deck. They'll just adapt their Eld Lich engine. Any of these decks, these 60-card pile decks that play Dragoon, that play all this, they can still implement those cards in their deck and just have to play less copies depending on what's available. And like I said, adjust the Eld Lich engine accordingly. So those decks are fine. Eld Lich Numeron, they're not going to hit a damn thing in Numeron, I don't think, because the only thing they hit is Zexal. Okay, if they hit Zexal, so you don't have the option to go first and set up the Floodgate with Zexal. However, you still have Megaclops. You still have the ability to make Crusader Evermax. You still have the ability to go second and OTK the opponent. If they hit Zexal, which I think is another Floodgate monster they should hit, the deck is still fine. The engine itself is still fine, and you can still play those cards in tandem with your other engines. If you're playing Eld Lich, if they do get hit like I proposed, then you just change your engine accordingly and you're fine. So I think a lot of the decks for the main purpose, of the list, regardless of what's going to happen, are still going to be playable. Next, I mean, I have to include myself, so Invoked, Alistair, me, if Meltdown goes to 1, Meltdown goes to 1. Whatever. Like, you just have to play. You got the 1 Terraforming. You got the 1 Meltdown. You gotta play Set Rotation. You might have to play Metaverse. You might have to play a lot of crap you don't want to play. No, we're not playing Planet Pathfinder. I know someone suggested that. No, the only card you're normal summoning is me. There is no way you're doing that unless you're playing the Dogmatica engine. Speaking of Dogmatica, I don't think anything will get hit. If they hit Nadir Servant to 2, that doesn't matter. It just lowers the consistency by a little bit. It's not even relevant, to be honest. Like, literally, if for some reason they decided to hit that, the engine would still be fine. You just play 2 Nadir Servant and you'd be fine. So there's nothing to really worry about there. And then there's just the trap decks. Oh, and before I get to the trap decks, I almost forgot the Bird Up deck. Yeah, the Bird Up deck. Shout out to Kyle, shout out to Yishad. Yeah. I don't see them hitting anything in that deck. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't see them hitting the statue. I don't see them hitting the Samorglik. Definitely don't see them hitting the big chicken. That deck is just going to go on its merry way. What can I say? That deck is going to dodge everything and be fine. There is no way they're going to hit anything in there. None of the Tri-Brigade cards, none of the Lyralist cards, none of that stuff's getting hit. Even if Zeus went to 1, who cares? They only play 1, so it changes nothing for that deck going forward. And now, to wrap up the video, the trap decks. Okay, Dragoon goes to 1. You play 1 Dragoon. What else are they going to hit? Guru can play Numeron. Guru can play the 1 Dragoon. If they ban Dragoon, Guru can still play its old school game of Guru control. Maybe it can go back to being actual Guru control. They literally can do that. They can switch to Numeron. If they don't hit Zexal, they can do all these things. Nothing really changes. They're not going to hit any of the trap cards. Someone said they're going to hit Summon Limit. Be a very interesting call if they did, but I personally don't see it happening. Even if they do, there's a lot of other floodgates. There can only be one. There's literally goes match. There's all these other floodgates. There's all these floodgates that are still around in the game that can still be played. They would have to do a massive cleanup. If they hit one floodgate, they gotta hit more than that. So it's pretty crazy. But for the most part, every deck has a way to survive. And I know what you guys are thinking. What about dinosaurs? Most people think they're not hitting anything. If they hit Misk, okay, dinosaurs get the worst. Dinosaurs get the shaft if they hit Misk. They'll go back to how they were before Misk came to 3. But honestly, I don't think they're on enough players' radars. I know I talked about them a lot in my ban list prediction, but honestly, they're just not on enough people's radars, not enough players' radars. And, I mean, like I said, if they hit Misk, they hit Misk. But if not, then they're fine. And that's it. Those are really like the best decks of the format, and if the ban list does do what we've predicted, you know, myself and all my other fellow colleagues that have come up with all these ideas, the decks are still going to be playable. They're just not going to be as impressive as they are right now. Is that a good thing? Yeah, I think it is. I would much rather play against Virtual World and know I don't have to play against VFD Turbo. I'd much rather play against Drytron and not watch them loot Ben 10 for 20 minutes. I'd rather play... Oh, I forgot about Dragon Link. So Dragon Link, are they going to hit Elpy? Maybe. If they do, the deck can still play. The deck can still play. That's crazy. I've heard it from Dragon Link players. They find ways to adapt. The Dragon Maid cards help a lot. So there's definitely potential for that deck as well. But look at that, you guys. Every deck can still be played. It'll just be played differently. Like I've always said, with every format in Yu-Gi-Oh, you have to adapt. If you love the game enough, you adapt and you move forward. That's exactly what you do with these decks. Things will change, but they probably will change for the better, and you can benefit more from learning how to adapt your deck in the current format. But that's it for today's video, you guys. If you guys enjoyed, you guys know what to do. Give it one of these. Let me know your thoughts on how decks will adapt going forward, you know, with the ban list. You know, again, we're just going off our predictions. We're waiting for our list. It'll drop any of these days, hopefully, because honestly, sorry guys, there's no deck profile, so it does. And honestly, I'm not going to make some BS content. I just thought this was a really cool idea to talk about, like, how decks will adapt going forward. But those are my thoughts. Please let me know yours in the comments below. I know there's a lot of decks I didn't mention, but it's because your deck's probably not getting hit, so it's actually pretty fortunate for you. But those are my thoughts on, like, the main decks of the format, how they'll adapt going forward, and we'll wait for our ban list, and it'll be pretty cool. And when it's ready, you guys will see me do one of those, and yeah, you guys already know how that goes. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.